Boxing fans, I'm going to talk to you about Ricky Hatton yet again. Can't wait until Saturday night, the comeback of the Hitman, and I am a fan, despite him getting knocked out by Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao more recently. I'm still a fan of the Hitman. I think, all-action fighter, never in a dull bout, wicked body puncher, and apart from the two pound for pound fighters, Ricky had a pretty good CV. And until he got knocked out by Pacquiao, he was rated the most dominant fighter in the light welterweight division. So, up to that point, people thought the Pacquiao fight was going to be interesting. And Ricky said that he had a lot of problems outside the ring. He overtrained. There were stories in the gym that Ricky had got dropped in sparring, got beat up in sparring, which he confirmed afterwards. So now, 3 years on after that defeat, Ricky on Saturday night is back. I've looked at some of the tapes and stuff, and beforehand I was really excited about Ricky coming back, and I was like, yeah, Ricky's coming back, yeah, cool. He could fight Kell Brook, he could fight Amir Khan. God, can you imagine him landing them body shots on Amir Khan? I was thinking all these things were going through my mind, and all these blockbuster fights. But then I took a closer observation, and I watched Ricky his last week to see how he looked in terms of weight making. And his face, usually around this time, his face looks drawn. He's so used to a fuller faced Hatton. And in the last 3 years, we've had Hatton's face very full. But, this particular Hatton 2012 version, he not only looks drawn, he looks old, and he looks sick. He really does. He looks really sickly. I don't know what he's done to make the weight. Obviously, he's worked very hard. He's trained very hard. But the concern for me, he doesn't look right. He really doesn't. And I'm a big Hatton fan, but he just doesn't look right. And there are concerns for me, And the other thing is, people say he's looked brilliant in the gym, but I haven't seen many videos on YouTube yet which confirm that Hatton has looked good in sparring. Usually you get loads of guys, sparring partners, saying, yeah, everything's very quiet behind closed doors. And, Hatton's talking now about, even if he loses, he comes back, he's going to do himself proud because he's got himself down, he's lost the weight, and he's talking about, the possibility he could lose. We all know Ricky Hatton at his best, would beat Shevchenko, no problems. And I think that he does beat Shevchenko. But I think the thing is, what we remember of Hatton, the last fight he had was good, was before the Mayweather fight. Because if you remember rightly, he got knocked out by Mayweather. He made that comeback fight in Manchester. He got rocked in that comeback fight. Can't remember who the guy's name was. It was in Manchester. He didn't look great in that fight. And of course, he got knocked out by Pacquiao. So, his fight against Castilla, where he dropped him with a body shot, that was, for me, that was his best last fight, which is Hatton looked really good in. So he's coming back to fight. I believe the fight's at welterweight now, which Hatton never looked great at in welterweight. You may think he's older now, he's probably filled that into the weight division more, but I don't know. I just hope, I expect Hatton to win this fight by body shots. Mid-round, say 6-7 rounds, he stops Shevchenko, but, I'm going to be tuning in. Believe me, I'll be tuning in with my food and my drink, popcorn. I'll be ready to watch Hatton. But I'll tell you something, I am so nervous for that guy. And Ricky Hatton deserves all the credit in the world for coming back. He really does. And I sort of feel like a selfish boxing fan here because I really want Ricky to come back and fight all these fights against all these opponents he could fight. But If you've heard anything in terms of Ricky's training regime, and, you know, how he's made the weight, and how he's looked in sparring, because a lot of the stories I've heard that he looks slow and he's done, he's finished. But that's one story. So I'd really like to hear what the situation is with Ricky, and kind of put my mind at ease. Fingers crossed and praying that Ricky comes through this fight and he can get. Look, all I want now, Ricky, get through this fight, beat Malignaggi, who looked pretty vulnerable in his last fight, beat Malignaggi, and, you know, retire. You know, no rush for you to go and fight Hatton over Khan or anybody else. You know, but, you know, again, I just hope he doesn't. I really don't hope he doesn't get beat, because that would really. I don't know how the guy would recover from that. But come on, Ricky, come on.